Happy hump day, ladies and gentlemen. We got Wilson. We got the Oak Barrel guy. Hey, they're getting their patriotism on this morning, thinking of Donald Trump getting rid of all them illegal immigrants. Yes, sir, Bob. Go get them. That's all I got to say about that. Go get them. Hey, what we're going to talk about today here, we're going to talk a little bit about this planter bed, the way I've set it up, and organic insect control. Before we go any further, today's mini podcast, if you will, a little GMO update, a little gardening update here from Alladay LLC live at the fabulous Wainema Ranch is being brought to you by Foothill Feed and Mercantile. Of course, Foothill Feed and Mercantile in South Reno on Gueger grade 775-852-0999. Ladies and gentlemen, you got a pig, you want to have you're getting him to hold an apple in his mouth? You don't want to be feeding him poison. If you feed him poison, you're going to eat that poison. She got organic feeds over there, non-GMO feeds for all your animals, all your critters, so they eat healthy just like you want to eat healthy. And now let's talk about some organic insect control. You see, I've got all these rocks here. And now what I've done, I've planted this bed itself here, before we go there. This bed is going to be a basil bed. And I have stuff around the edges. You can see we got garlic growing in here. It's coming up already back there in the corner. We got a little bit of onion and stuff. But all in here, I got stuff that's going to attract bees. Of course, that's my peppermint starter. These are daylilies. They get real pretty. But let's get in here close. And you can start seeing I got all these little nooks and crannies in the rocks. And why would I do that? Lizards live in little outfits like that. Lizards, ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, they're kind of cute. They creep girls out sometimes, but they're kind of cute. They're not a bad little critter. They're not a bad animal at all because they live on insects. The drawback, if you will, to that is snakes eat lizards, and they might bring snakes around. I haven't had poisonous snakes come around to eat lizards. It's always been like a bull snake or something like that, which isn't bad because they'll also eat the rodents. So that's something to take into consideration if you're going to set what I call lizard refuge up. This is like a little lizard condo because you'll probably get one living over in here and another one living in this area here. And I know we have lizards because I saw a bunch of them last year. There just was no place to accommodate them in the scenario that we have going on now. So now that I have this bed ready to go, I'll have flowers and stuff that's going to attract bees, of course, and other birds, if you will, because the birds will come get the seeds. And as you can see over here, I got the same thing going on here. Now, let me see here. Oh, I don't know. Can you see that little thing right there? If I'm not mistaken, that is a 4 o'clock. It's a flower called a 4 o'clock. If you're looking for a really cool, pretty, fragrant flower that attracts hummingbirds, 4 o'clocks are awesome. The flower itself is kind of like a trumpet horn. And the reason they call them 4 o'clocks, ladies and gentlemen, is because when it gets cool in the late afternoon, early evening, that's when they open up around 4 in the afternoon as the temperature starts to drop. They open up and they stay open until about mid-morning. So they'll attract your hummingbirds and butterflies and stuff like that. Late afternoon, early evening, where hummingbirds like to feed, and early morning to mid-morning. The hummingbirds are not a hot bird. They don't really care for the heat. So that's something you want to consider when you're setting beds up. But what I also have in all the rock area here, different woody stem herbs love that type of stuff, especially sage. Sage loves to grow in rocky kind of, well-draining type environments. I've actually taken road base, what they call road base. It's a type of gravel that if you have sand or something, you put it on there and it kind of congeals a little over time in the sand. It compresses and it gives you something to drive on. But I've actually used different gravels and stuff to make a bed for planting various herbs. Sage is one of those that'll get a very rocky, well-draining soil for them, and they'll do that. Now, as you know, on the other side, I'm doing we got, as you can see, our steps here, man, a rock. I found a flat rock. That makes a cool step, huh? Anyways, but in here, where we're going to go next here, we're going to be getting this area right here. This is going to be a white sage, and I'll probably have some chilies on the side here. But this is going to be my white sage planter bed. And then, of course, that one over there, you can see I got a mess here with all the construction, ladies and gentlemen. But this one here, right now, I have succulents and cacti under the glass. I also have some chilies under the glass, some JPEGs there from, I don't know what the exact initials, it just comes, it kind of looks like JPEG, but that's what I call them. From the Pepper Lovers group over there in Pepper Lover Land on G+, of course. Awesome group, ladies and gentlemen. It is an awesome group. If you're into chilies of any kind, I don't care if they're sweet, hot, whatever, Pepper Lovers on G+, that is an information, it's like, I don't know how to, I've been in a lot of groups and social media, and you usually get people that, they're stingy with information, they, kind of want to be stuck. There's none of that going on in this group. Everybody shares information, knowledge, and stuff like that. It is an awesome, awesome group. If you are into chilies, I've yet to find a better group in the entire country, okay? I'll go that far. I'll put it out there like that. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome group. And the members of the group are just, they're off the hook. They're really good people. They'll share their knowledge with you. We have a little contest going on. Everybody grows. You're on the honor roll, not to cheat, because, of course, it is a social media thing, and we all across the country, we share photographs, but it is really cool. Pepper Lovers on G+. And you got to love Wayne, the Batman guy. The stuff he puts up, I'm telling you, it cracks me up sometimes. But anyways, back to the organic insect control way. There's a couple things. Of course, ladybugs are really good. Praying mantis are another insect, carnivore insect that lives on insects. Frogs, toads, lizards. Now, I did see a couple toads up in here last year. So I'm looking to make environments friendly for those type of animals because, of course, I'm not going to participate in the ruse that we're using less pesticides and then use a pesticide. I try to do everything organic. I come out, and I'll tell you what, the gypsy moth that lays that little horned tomato worm, I call it the horned tomato worm. It's a big green thing, and they'll get about that long, and they'll get that horn on the end about like this, and you can't tell which side's the head or not. That right there will eat an entire chili plant overnight. So I usually in the morning when the bugs start coming out, I'll start inspecting my plants at sunrise. As soon as I can see outside, I start inspecting plants and looking for those worms, because the only thing that gets those worms are the birds, and they hide under the leaves, and the birds don't see them until they're a moth, and then they're putting more eggs down. So another way to combat those worms, there's a wasp that lays eggs on them. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know about the wasp. I think I've never used those as insect control, but I have spoken with people in Central Valley, California, that have used them. The big thing going on right now in agriculture, ladies and gentlemen, is the decline of the bee population. I posted on my G+ page. Look at that map. You can see where the most heaviest use of what they call neocides or neotonic side, or I can't say it right, but it's a nicotine-based poison that is systemic. And systemic means you mix it with water and you water your plant. The plant sucks it up. When the bug eats it, it dies. Well, the product works. What it doesn't do is differentiate between the good bug and the bad bug. So when the bee comes to pollinate the flowers and get the pollen, I don't know if you heard Fred, that's the peacock in the background there, but when the bee comes to get the pollen from the flowers, guess what? It poisons it. It kills the bee. if the bee makes it back to the hive, now it's taking the poison back to the hive. So that is something you want to consider when you're doing stuff. Organic solutions, neem oil is a good one. I know a lot of people, especially in the pepper lovers, are always talking about that one, but it's a very good one. So the next update, you'll probably do a little plant. As I said, that's going to be a basil bed. I do have, I think on this side here, I put sage. I got to wait till the sage sprouts and comes up so I see where it is, because I want to plant and complement the sage with German winter thyme, and I'll use the German winter thyme in a different area. Let me show you one of those plants there. This particular bed over here, I am going to do, got my maple leaves there, man. That's good stuff, dude, people. Good stuff, pepper lovers. Maple leaves. It breaks down. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I never did the biological thing on it. But as you can see, my French tarragon is starting to come up. So I will take, and this is German winter thyme here, so I will take the French tarragon. I'm going to line that on there. I'll take the German winter thyme and stick it on the other side. This also, because I'm getting the afternoon shade, is going to be a basil bed. So that said, ladies and gentlemen, from myself, Oak Barrel Guy, and Wilson at the fabulous Wainema Ranch, you got L.A. LLC coming to you. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy hump day to you, and don't forget, non-GMO animal feeds, the Foothill Feed and Mercantile, 775-852-0999, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, it's going to be a gorgeous day. Look at that. We got nothing but sunshine and Mr. Blue Sky. Let's have a great day. Let's all be safe out there.